I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final end of the TNT Rock Block for this beautiful Tuesday night here from the National Racing Network World Broadcast Headquarters. My name is Chris Graham. It is a pleasure to have you hanging out with us here this evening. Looking forward to a pretty spectacular race here for the TNT Shock Series. Coming up 45 minutes in length around the New Hampshire Motor Speedway road course. This one utilizing the south end of the oval. There you got a good look at turn number 5. Big old bowl running down the hill. Just about 2 minutes and 45 seconds or so remaining in the practice session for these cars. Mike Holler going to be your quick timer thus far as he makes his way off at turn number 2 and down the backstretch towards turn 3. Saw a lot of incidents in and around this entire section of the race course. You see cones strewn all over the racetrack. Down the hill into the bowl-shaped turn number 5, almost like something you might see at the Nürburgring. Getting very tight there with the 64 of Mike Barry. More cone aside going on between turns 7 and 8. That's down through turn 11. Snap left at turn 12. Another snap left at 13. And a final very quick left at turn 14. Puts you back onto the front straightaway of the oval. Quick time for Mike Holler, 55.777 seconds. Dan Smith, James Curtis, J.W. Miller, Jason Owens will be your top 5 here in the practice session. But quite frankly, anything can happen here. Oh, big old tag slapper there for Mike Barry. Or excuse me, Mike Holler coming up the hill. There's a look at Dan Smith in the 95. He's currently running in the second position. James Curtis just coming back out onto the racetrack with 60 seconds remaining in the practice session. Curtis already a winner here tonight on the TNT Rock Block, getting the win in the Free V Series event at Southern National Motorsports Park. Timothy Watson, a surprise winner in the Bolt Series race that just finished a few minutes ago here. Able to get around West Shire when Shire spun up the hill at between turns 3 and 4. J.W. Miller, the runner-up in that race, also entered in this one here tonight. And as we get ready for qualifications, show you the results from 1 week ago. Mike McConville getting the win in the SiriusXM AutoNation colors. Kevin Smalley, J.W. Miller, Simon Fell, Mike Barry, and Bill Walker. Top 6, Matt Galida, Jason Owens, Dave Sparks, Ty Richter, the top 10. Led to a pretty big shuffle in the point standings here, with McConville taking the lead, jumping 3 spots in the standings to leapfrog over Jason Owens. Only a 9-point lead, however, for Mike McConville. Kevin Smalley, James Watson, West Shire, the top 5 in points. That run last week for J.W. Miller moved him up 8 spots in points to the 6th position. Bill Walker, Simon Fell, Dave Sparks, and Matt Galida will complete the top 10 in points as qualifications getting underway here. We'll take you back over, get you the live look. Show you who's who and where as they make their way around this New Hampshire Motor Speedway road course. No laps on the board just yet. You will see the clock up there on the corner of your screen as well. Looks like J.W. Miller will be the first car, or at least one of the first cars, that will get a lap in the books here. We'll also see laps from Mike McCullen, Simon Fell, and James Curtis in pretty rapid succession here. Now, again, that is assuming that they get the lap in the books. Any sort of an incident point will negate the lap for these drivers. You see J.W. Miller going purple in Sector 1. That means he is the fastest car on the racetrack. Green means you are a personal best in that sector. You see things start lighting up in orange. That means you are slower than your personal best sector time. So far, James Watson, Chris Kresge, the only 2 cars that are not on the racetrack right now. This one's going to be tight between J.W. Miller and James Curtis for the first lap. Seeing who's going to grab quick time early on here. Lap time's about 55 seconds in length. 56.790 seconds. The quick lap time. J.W. Miller moves to the top of the charts, 56.679. Simon Fell, Mike McCullen going to fall in line as well. Dan Smith making his way across the start-finish line. New quick time, 56.141 for Daniel Smith. Going to make his way off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Alex Teeter moves himself up to the 4th position. Simon Fell currently 5th. Smith way off the racetrack. He's going to loop it around. And he's beached. That's going to be one of the big things to watch out for over the course of this race. Any sort of an incident in the outfield portion of the race course will very likely lead to the car getting stuck and then the drivers having to take the tow back into the pits. Dan Smith still top of the charts, 56.141. Pick up Jason Owens here. He got himself looped around at turn number 3. Little bit of a change here for Jason. He's spent the week thus far running the officials for the PM18s at the Charlotte Motor Speedway Oval, which is pack racing carnage at its absolute finest. Seeing Bizzle checking in, saying vroom vroom. Bizzle, why are you not driving? J.W. Miller moving up to the 2nd position, 56.34. James Curtis leapfrogs it right back, takes it back 56.217. Mike Holler out on the race course as well. Holler was very quick in practice. Here's James Watson in the number 39, our broadcast partner for the Bolt Series, getting into the race car for the Shock Series. Pistol saying he's under the influence and it's illegal for him to drive. All right, we'll buy it. We'll absolutely take that one. Top 3 are unchanged just past the halfway point. Coming up here tomorrow night, do not want to miss the TNT Special Events Series. This one is going to be, well, pretty ridiculous, quite frankly. Multiple classes of cars, as always. In this case, as we see James Watson going off here, the Alton Park Circuit, the Foster's layout, going to have 4 cars running on that layout tomorrow night. The Radical SR8, the Corvette C6 GT1, the Honda ARX-01C, so a P1, a Prototype Challenge, and a GT car, and the Formula V, of which there will be 20 AI-controlled machines that are set to varying levels of difficulty. Most importantly, they are going to be incredibly aggressive. Take a look at Wes Shire. He was easily the fastest car in the field in the USF 2000 race just a little bit ago. Unfortunately, spinning at turn number 3 out of a large lead. Trying to put that Homestead Coffee Tales from Rukon, number 16, in victory lane here in the PM18s tonight. Bit of a lockup back there behind Wes Shire. Now up to 21 cars here in the session. Only Mike McConville, your winner 1 week ago, and Chris Kresge have not taken a lap time yet. There's Kevin Smalley having a little bit of an issue at turns 3 and 4. Let's go on board here with Kevin. Get you a look. You'll watch the camera pitch from side to side and up and down here as this car goes up over the hills and crests. Back down the hill into the infield section. This turns 12, now 13. And then the last sharp one at turn 14. Getting very close to that pit attenuator. New quick time, top of the board, Wes Shire, 56.064. Shire going to turn the heat up here late in qualifications. .60 seconds remaining in the qualifying session. See if anybody's going to be able to top Wes Shire as he hits pit road. There will be a pit stop involved in this race as well. So getting that timed and executed, that's going to be very difficult. Hitting that pit stop under green. Shire makes the quick stop. He's out and away. Simulating the entrance and exit, I should say, from multiple positions there. That is a very veteran move there by Wes Shire. As we are down to 19 seconds remaining. Can anybody take Wes Shire's time off the top of the board? Daniel Smith, Jason Owens, not on the racetrack right now. We're going to follow along with James Curtis. He runs fourth, then we'll pick up J.W. Miller. Checkered flag is out on the session. Curtis, last crack down through the infield. Does not look like this lap will be good enough to get it done. Quickest in the final sector, though. He does not gain. J.W. Miller going off course. His session will be over as well. Here's now Mike Holler. Off that final corner, and does not look like he will improve his time either. Oh, yes, he did by about 0.2, 56.184. Last car that was going to get a lap in was going to be Peter Donchak. There you see Peter coming around the outside, and he will come to a stop. The yellow submarine colors on the number 17 here this evening. And with that, looks like Mike McConville and Chris Kresge will have to start this race from the back of the field. And it is time to go racing. Get you the look here as the field starts to pop into the grid. Let's get you the starting lineup for tonight's 45-minute feature event. West Shire, your pole sitter, 56.064, 3/1000ths of a second faster than Dan Smith. That's going to make things interesting into turn number 3. We'll explain to you that one in a moment. Jason Owens, Mike Holler going to occupy row number 2. James Curtis, J.W. Miller on row 3. Simon Fell, Dave Sparks on row number 4. Row 5 will have Ben Carswell and Mike Barry, James Watson and Kevin Smalley on row number 6. Row 7, Timothy Watson and Alex Teeter. Peter Donchak, Mike McCullen on row number 8. Row 9 is going to see Bill Walker and Mike Heinekamp. Rick Cleary, Mike McConville on row number 10, all alone. In row number 12 for Team Sexy Kermit, it's Chris Kresge. We'll see if Kresge going to be able to get into the session here. I want to thank everybody who's tuned in on YouTube and Twitch. Give us a shout in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from here. We can get those up on the screen for you. Looking forward to turn number 3, quite frankly, because that's where you're probably going to see more of an incident develop here on lap number 1 as the field gets ready to roll. Seeing Mike Holler not yet moving. There he goes. Now he gets the car fired off. Kind of bottles everybody up a little bit here as they get off the line. Taking a look down the back straightaway. We should have a spectacular view here into turn number 3 of any of the potential carnage and shenanigans that are going to go on here. Let's get you the weather presented by our friends at the Weather Center. Offensively accurate weather for eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. 73-degree ambient temperature, 51% humidity. Winds going to be out of the west at 6 miles an hour. Cloudy skies here. Sunrise at start time. 73-degree track temperature to match the ambient. How the tires grip up as the track conditions change is absolutely going to play a role in how this race develops. Field's going to come off the final corner, and as always, race fans, the start of the TNT Shock Series is going to be all yours. One car going around towards the back of the pack. Oh, they're going to have big trouble here in turn one. Timothy Watson going to be involved. Looks like Mike Barry involved in this one as well. J.W. Miller, James Curtis. Huge damage for multiple cars here. We'll see if that will bring out a caution flag. Let's get you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replays on these. Trouble early for Mike McCullen. One car going around just ahead of him. Already you see several of the cars off the racetrack. Get you the replay here. Keep your eye on Mike Barry, that blue and white car to the outside. Barry just absolutely missed the corner hard into Jason Owens as well. Barry's car pretty well junked. Curtis involved in that one. We got big problems early in this one. But that is going to put Wes Shire out in front. Now working lap number 2 of this 45-minute affair. Bizzle absolutely nailing it in the comments here. Bang, ding, ow, he says. Yes. So now let's give you the rundown here. We have a lot of cars on pit road. Jason Owens, James Curtis, J.W. Miller, Dave Sparks, Mike Barry, Mike McCullen, and Bill Walker. Pass for the lead. Mike Holler around the outside of West Shire. That was aggressive early on. You wonder if the experience that Shire has, though, could tire wear really come into play here. Let's check in the infield care center. Let's see how many of these drivers we can get lined up for you here. Jason Owens, unfortunately, looks like you're going to be on pit road for a little while here. Tell us what happened from your perspective.
I think so. I don't know who it was. I was just watching a replay on stream, but somebody overcooked it hard down there into one. JW and I were giving each other plenty of room. And I think somebody just forgot that there's 2 pedals today. So it sucks. I had great road qualifying again. I'm really working on that side of the house. And was just going to try and bring it home with a clean race. So hopefully things are looking good up at the front of the field.
Yeah, what are you thinking here in terms of repair time? Are you going to be able to get back out there?
Yeah, I had 4 minutes of required. I think the right front is jacked up, and my front wing was gone. I brought a cone back as my front wing. I don't know if you got that or not. But 4 minutes are required. You know, if I can get out of here, there's bound to be more nonsense that happens throughout the field. At this point, if I can get out of here with somewhere between a 7 to a 12 place finish, I'll be happy. Just go out and log a bunch of laps and do good.
All right, Jason, thank you very much. Tough break on that one there. Let's see who else is stuck pit side here. See if we can't find, let's see, don't have James Curtis. Let's see if we can get a word in here with J.W. Miller. Jason described it as somebody forgot there were 2 pedals in the car. What did you see from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, that's about as nice of a way as I could possibly think of putting it. Yeah, I'm very unhappy with that. I mean, guy just sent it from last place to all the way up where we were at. Yeah, then everybody kind of just piled in behind, and we would have actually been okay. We would have had just a little bit of front wing damage, but somebody was driving through me there basically and tore my whole rear end off, so that's unfortunate.
Are you done for the night, or what are you looking at in terms of repair time?
We had about 9 minutes total. It's down to about 6 minutes now, so we're going to get back out there and try and just limp around, see if we can make up a few of these positions that we lost.
All right, JW, thank you very much. We appreciate you checking in with us here. Looking at Kevin Smalley battling James Watson. Smalley actually had an issue not that long ago here. Work on lap number 2. Everybody else is gapped out by pretty significant margins here. We'll show you the gap back to the race leaders. Obviously, everybody from 14th place, Jason Owens on back, is off the racetrack with the exception of Bill Walker, who is back out onto the racetrack. There's the gaps, however. Call it 0.8 of a second at the front of the field. This is the next closest fight we have, as we are 6 minutes into this race. Trouble on the racetrack for Rick Cleary, but we'll stay with this battle right here between James Watson and Kevin Smalley. Watson trying to get down to the inside into 3. Big dive into the corner, slides it out. Nice pass. James Watson, move him up to position at number 5. He's now going to go after Timothy Watson, one of your hard chargers of the race, up 9 from where he started. Your hard charger right now is that 06 car of Mike McConville. Started 20th, and he will be running in the 10th position. Seeing Dave Sparks making his way out. Oh, there's big trouble for Jason Owens. Getting off the racetrack. That car having a little bit bigger issues than he might have thought here. Trying to get that car pointed back in the right direction after that long bit of repairs. Run you through the field here. Race leader Mike Holler has 1 full second over Daniel Smith, who runs in the 2nd position. There's a good look at Smith as he comes back down the hill through turn number 11 into the infield section of the road course once again. There's Wes Shire running in the 3rd position. Started on the pole here tonight. He's down a couple, but Wes very good at fuel saving, very good at the pit strategy calls as well here, making sure those tires are going to last all the way through to the end of this race. Timothy Watson runs in 4th, the number 77 Alpine colors on the side of that PM18. Watson up 9 from the start of the race. James Watson just making his way down the back straightaway. He's up 6 to run in the 5th position. Really driving that car hard. A little bit of a lockup again into turn number 3. That's not the way to save tires. Watson going to have to be pretty aggressive with the driving here as the race goes on. Kevin Smalley runs in the 6th position in the number 7. Alex Teeter in the 47 runs in the 7th position. Good run, 8th place, Ben Carswell, our NTT IndyCar Series reporter here on the National Racing Network. Has that green and white number 48 inside the top 10, and inside the top 10 by about 16 seconds, as he's got 14 seconds back to Simon Fell, who runs in the 9th position. Not too far back is Mike McConville, 1.9 seconds the gap to Simon Fell. He runs in the 10th position. Again, your hard charger of the race, up 10 spots from where he got his start. Peter Donchak, the number 17 Pennzoil colors, flying down the back stretch. Currently up 4, working in the 11th position. Steady run so far for Mike Heinekamp. He runs 12th in the number 30, up 6 from where he started. Again, beneficiary of all those cars having issues. Turn 3, lap number 1. There's Rick Cleary, the final car on the lead lap, currently running in the 13th position. This truly could be a race where keep it out of trouble and you're going to do just fine. Gap at the front starting to shrink up here. Mike Holler and Dan Smith now running about 3 car lengths apart as they get into the infield. If the cars can make 22.5 minutes or so without having to stop for fuel and tires, that will make this a one-stop race. Numbers probably a little bit closer to, I'll even say 22 minutes when you factor in the pace lap. That is one extra lap that those drivers have to do, not at speed. Slide back in the pack here. Pick up Alex Teeter. He is quickly catching in on Kevin Smalley. Come on board here as we get down into the bowl at turn number 5. Coming up the hill blindly through 6, over the crest at 7, down into turn 8. Big lockup for Teeter. 9, 10, then quick snap back to the right for 11. Corners come very quick, very technical is this layout here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. The oval is not real fun to drive in these cars either at the moment, because if you were to set the car up, oh, look at this. Change for the lead here at the front of the field. Dan Smith coming around Mike Holler. Get you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay on this one. Big bobble for Mike Holler. That's going to put Daniel Smith easily into the lead. But the fight will continue here as Holler catching back in quickly as they get to turn 1. Slide back in the pack here. Oh, well, maybe not. Peter Donchak and Simon Fell were getting very close. Donchak falling about a half second back of Fell. Race leader is going to be hitting some lap traffic, and it's inside a car length. Much better drive off of turn number 4 for Mike Holler. He's going to try to work to the outside. Smith slides up the racetrack. Bizzles the line off. That's going to keep things very tight here at the front. Kevin Smalley, Alex Teeter going to be battling as well. That fight settles down, so we get back to the race leaders. Trouble on the racetrack for Peter Donchak. May have been just enough of a breath of the throttle for Dan Smith. It's going to allow Mike Holler to look inside. Smith aggressively around the lap car of Bill Walker. He knows that Mike Holler will pounce if given the opportunity. Trouble on the racetrack for Ben Carswell. Get you a Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. See what happened. Oh, Carswell way overshoots turn number 5, pounds the outside wall, and he has to take the toe back into the pits. That may be night over for Ben Carswell. Big pass for the lead. Mike Holler stuffs it in down to 5. What a pass by Mike Holler, forcing the issue. Get you the replay of this one. Really forcing Dan Smith out wide, and absolutely nothing he could do to defend that pass. Mike Holler now coming around Simon Fell. That is 9th place going 1 lap down. This is the tightest battle on the racetrack right now. Next closest one will be this fight between Kevin Smalley and Alex Teeter. And these guys have been dueling since week 1. It started with a fight over the number 47 that Teeter won in a Formula V race, settling things in the most TNT way possible. Smalley now able to hold off Teeter. Looks like Mike McCullen, Mike Barry, James Curtis have not been back on the racetrack. Teeter going to have a look to the inside down into turn 3. Smalley has to run a little bit wide. How about a side-by-side battle through 4? Smalley able to hold on to the spot. Teeter not able to fight back into 5. Battle for the lead just as intense. Up the hill, through the outfield. It's down to 2 car lengths as they get to turn 5. Mike Holler able to hold on to that lead. Now working 19 minutes, and everybody back through 9th place. Simon Fell has not made their first pit stop of the race yet. From 10th place, Mike Heinekamp on back to 20th place, Mike McCullen. Those cars all have damage and have made at least one pit stop. Dave Sparks also having made 2 stops at this point. Race leaders catching up on, I believe that's Jason Owens. Owens will not put up much of a fight here, but it really depends on where you catch the lap cars. And Owens getting up on Mike McConville. McConville running in the 8th position. Oh, McConville way off the racetrack. See if he's going to be able to come back on. He does. Will not lose a position. His next closest competitor, Simon Fell, still 18 seconds back. Leaders clear Owens down the front straightaway. Next car up will be Peter Donchak in the 17. Oh, there's a little bit of a bobble. Going to be side by side here as well. They're going to have to get single file, 3 wide up down the back straightaway. Mike Holler going to build a big gap now as Donchak goes off the racetrack. Oh, man, once again, catching lap traffic at a terrible time. Mike Heinekamp goes around. Race leaders being very aggressive here with how they're handling lap traffic. Reality is you just can't give up the spot. No free time to the cars running second. West Shire down on pit lane. 21 minutes, 55 seconds. This could be very close. We'll see where Shire's going to come out here. Sequence of pit stops is underway. No tire change, fuel only for West Shire. He will be down and away off of pit road. 5.42 seconds. Wonder if that's a bit of a strategy call by West Shire here. Trying to make up some time on your race leaders. We're now to the point, and here they come, both your race leaders on pit road, Mike Collar, Dan Smith. Such a difficult pit entry to make and get the car down to the pit road speed limit. Both cars hit their marks cleanly. Looks like neither one will go up on the jack. So again, fuel only. But Dan Smith going to be down and away just a little bit faster. 5.98 seconds for Smith. Holler out in 7.8. New race leader off of pit road, Dan Smith. West Shire about 4 seconds back of these cars now. Closing pretty quickly as well. As your race leaders start to make their way down the hill. Fastest stop time belongs to West Shire. Timothy Watson, James Watson, Alex Teeter also making stops. All these cars, your race leaders went 24 laps on that first stint. We are down to 24 laps to go right now. This will be fairly tight on fuel. Smalley now going to make his pit stop. .58 seconds, the time of the stop for Smalley. He's going to lose fourth to Timothy Watson, fifth to James Watson. Gaps are definitely shrinking here at the front of the field. Mike Holler now within 1 second of Dan Smith, and West Shire was cutting the gap down. It's starting to go back up again just a little bit here. Still sitting right around 4.4 seconds between Dan Smith, your race leader, in third place, running West Shire. That was a big-time bobble for Smith. Here comes Holler back up the hill. New race leader, Mike Holler, and that could bring West Shire back into this as well, especially if these two get dogfighting in a big way. Down inside of 20 minutes to go here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Coming up next week, the Shock Series heads to Lucas Oil Raceway Park. Well, at least for those who call it that anyway. IRP is where we're headed to next week. That is going to be a very fun oval race to watch. Then Olton Park, the Fosters lay out the Nashville Fairgrounds, and the Indy Pro Australian Gold from Phillip Island over the next month here for the TNT Shock Series. That's one of the best parts of watching the rock block here. Most of the time, you're going to get 3 different-ish cars on 3 different racetracks in a lot of these weeks. Holler trying to break the draft, but it's still about a quarter of a second here at the front. Call it 0.3 of a second, now 4 between Mike Holler and Dan Smith. Only other battle on the racetrack right now between Kevin Smalley and Alex Teeter. And this one, well, it was a good one. Smalley able to get around Teeter and open up a gap over 1.2 seconds. Not sure what happened there, but looks like Teeter may have gotten, if not off track, at least a little bit loose. We're going to go right back to this fight for the race lead because it's been a doozy. Once again, getting caught up on Peter Donchak. Donchak not going away quietly, bottling up race leader Mike Holler. Now he clears out of the way at the exit of turn 11. So everybody should be good to go to the end on fuel here. Back through your top 7 cars. Only possible question marks: Timothy Watson and James Watson, who stopped at lap number 22, but even those cars should be good to go to the end. Timothy Watson taking tires. We'll see if that will benefit him later in the race. Bill Walker and Rick Cleary both on pit lane. Trouble for Mike Heinekamp. He's off. Oh, man, and right in front of the race leaders as well. Still nose to tail at the front of the field. Came into the pits together, came out of the pits together. This battle has been going on for the entirety of this race. Once we got out of the carnage that was turn 3, for anybody that missed that one, let's show you what happened early on in this race with our Hot Shoe Racewear Instant Replay. This was right at the initial start. Several cars getting loose and just massive, massive damage to multiple cars in this field. Absolutely changed the complexion of this race in a very, very big way. All the way up to 8th place, Mike McConville from the back of the field has gone a lap down here. Alex Teeter will be the next car that the leaders are going to catch, and quite frankly, he's not that far ahead of your race leaders. Leaders again quickly dispatching with lap traffic. The gap now 0.6 of a second between Mike Holler and Dan Smith. The gap to 3rd place West Shire now up to 6.5 seconds as we approach 10 minutes to go here. Mike McConville, Simon Fell going to be battling. This is for the 8th position. Oh, and we've got big-time drama here at the front of the field. Dan Smith, huge damage to that car. Mike Holler also involved. Lap traffic, Holler gets off the racetrack. Huge damage to the left-hand side of that car. And then Daniel Smith got a piece of it as well. West Shire may be your race leader. Here's what happened to Dan Smith. Lap car going around, takes the front wing off of Dan Smith's car. Huge trouble with the lap car of Dave Sparks. Dan Smith going to hold on to the race lead. It's still 5.3 seconds. But that car with absolutely no front downforce is going to have to be a huge handful to drive. That will promote with Holler getting into the pit area. In fact, he had to take the tow into the pit area. That's going to put Wes Shire to second, Timothy Watson to third. And you wonder if a meatball isn't coming for Dan Smith. He would have to serve it within the next couple of laps. Wes Shire not gaining a ton of ground here. Check in out of the infield care center here with Mike Holler. Mike, we saw what happened out there on the racetrack. Lap traffic causing a little bit of an issue. Well, we'll say a pretty big issue. Tell us about it from your perspective.
Yeah, he was trying to let me by at a place where you really can't let someone by, and just drove me off the track. If he was further back and signaled it, I would have been able to handle it. But I was on his gearbox, and he did that. So I didn't even really change my line for that corner. I wasn't actually trying to go around him. That was my racing line, and he drove into it. So that's where we are. Kind of disappointing. Had a really, really good fun fight with Daniel up front, but didn't work out.
I was going to say that battle was incredible for almost 40 minutes. That had to be a lot of fun, a place that you're not real familiar with. I don't think anybody is familiar with this layout. For you guys to put on that kind of a show was pretty spectacular.
I think I did Skippies with it a year and a half ago. It's what brought me here today. So knew it'd be fun, but track's a little faster, these cars, but it was just it worked. It worked, but yeah, lap traffic was a problem, and we just I didn't hear he was letting me by at all. It was just pulled off line and into my line. So that's just how it goes.
Tough break there, brother. Let's make sure we let you get the sponsor plugs and thank yous in here because you deserve that one at least.
Yeah, thanks. CCL, as always, Citizens Climate Lobby. Did some volunteering earlier today. Encourage people to look into it and see what it's about. But doing really good work with climate and climate policy while I wait for these 2 minutes and 50 seconds of required repairs. We'll see. I think I can get back out, actually. Can't really think right now. But thanks for the good race while it lasted, I guess, from everyone.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Tough break on that one there. And Dan Smith almost got it again. We had a big wad up at turn 3 during the interview here. Simon Fell, Alex Teeter. Huge block by Teeter. Fell tries to get up the outside. Loops it around. Teeter going to be involved. Jason Owens nearly has to come to a stop. Simon takes the toe back in. Alex Teeter continues on. 6 minutes and 20 seconds. The lead is down to 3.5 seconds. Wes Shire going to be pushing very, very hard here to get caught up to Daniel Smith. A mistake took one away from him earlier tonight. We'll see if somebody else's mistake may get Wes Shire back to victory lane. Alex Teeter now on the pit lane. He will start to fall back through the field here. And again, there you see the gaps. There is, like we say, nobody close to each other at this point. Down to 5.5 minutes remaining. There's your race leader. I almost wonder if he knows there's damage to that car. As we go on board here with race leader Dan Smith, he cannot see the front wing of that car. Now down inside of 5 minutes remaining in the TNT Shock Series. Dan Smith, I would imagine, has to be approaching lap traffic with a little bit of caution here. Donchak clears out of the way cleanly off of turn number 11. It's a great dump-off spot for the lap cars to kind of clear themselves out of the way. Should be down to about 4 laps to go here at New Hampshire, and the gap is back up to 4.8 seconds. So no gain here for Wes Shire. In fact, he lost about a half second that last lap. Run you back through the field here one more time. Dan Smith, your race leader. There's Wes Shire, who runs in the second position. Timothy Watson runs third. They're in the Alpine colors. Got to go back a full 11 seconds to find James Watson, who runs in the fourth position. One car remains on the lead lap, and that is Kevin Smalley running in the fifth position. Smalley not that far ahead, actually, of your race leader. Daniel Smith doing a fantastic job of holding on to that race car. Missing the entire front wing assembly. The rest of the car looks okay after the contact with lap car Dave Sparks. Should be down to 1 lap to go. Going to be very, very close here on time. Crossing the line with 55 seconds remaining, and that's about the lap times that we've been running. Daniel Smith battled with Mike Holler for the vast majority of this race till about 6 minutes ago. Lap traffic unable to clear out of the way cleanly, and this will be it. Off the final corner, checkered flag is in the air. Daniel Smith wins at New Hampshire. Wes Shire going to come home in the second position. And here comes third place running Timothy Watson. Off the final corner, and Watson will bring the Alpine colors home in third. and bins it at the line for good measure. James Watson comes home fourth. Kevin Smalley will finish tonight in the 5th position. Smalley comes across the line to complete your top 5. It's waiting on the last couple of cars to come across here, but there is your race winner. Daniel Smith, as we get ready for the Victory Lane interviews here, let's get your race results up on the screen. Dan Smith, the winner by 5.3 seconds over West Shire. Timothy Watson, James Watson, Kevin Smalley, your top 5. 6 through 10, Mike McConville, Alex Teeter, Mike Heinekamp, Peter Donchak, and Bill Walker. Jason Owens, Mike Collar, Rick Cleary, Simon Fell, J.W. Miller back through the 15th position. 16th to Dave Sparks, 17th Ben Carswell, 18th Mike McCullen, 19th James Curtis, and 20th place tonight is Mike Barry. Start off our Victory Lane interviews tonight with third place finisher piloting the number 77 Team Alpine car, Mr. Timothy Watson. Timothy, congratulations on a good podium finish here tonight. Obviously the beneficiary of the incident that happened at the front of the field, but a very quiet podium run tonight. You don't often hear that.
Yeah, well, I didn't get any time to practice or anything, so I was just kind of guessing and qualifying, and I ended up qualifying towards the back and just, well, I got lucky there, and I finally started to pick up pace a little bit there towards the end.
Yeah, that was one of those you had to avoid the carnage ahead of you at the start, and it seemed like the race really settled in there once you got past turn 3 on lap 1. How was the car tonight, and what were you feeling behind the wheel?
I mean, it was, well, really just confidence with myself because I hadn't really ever driven that car on a road course. So just figuring out braking zones and everything, it felt really good at the end, though.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations on a good podium finish here tonight. It's going to be a very good points night for you as well. So congratulations on that as well. Let's get the sponsor plugs and thank yous in here.
Pretty much just the same as earlier. My parents and James, and also thank you to you for running this.
Well, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate that. And let's bring our runner-up into the booth here. West Shire, you thought you had a third-place finish coming tonight. What were you thinking when you saw the leaders start to have issues? At least on the relative, you had to see the numbers start falling.
I just heard some words over the radio and didn't even realize until later. That was I have turned so many laps here tonight that I just kind of went into autopilot for the second half of that race.
Yeah, it sort of had that feel to it. Once we got past turn 3 of lap 1, things definitely sort of settled into a rhythm. Mike and Daniel were putting on a show at the front of the field, and you were kind of doing your own thing back there in third for most of the night, it seemed like.
Yeah, I just running my own race and just trying to not do what I did last race and end up backwards. Almost did once or twice, but made it through. So
I say the car is coming home in one piece with no damage on that very pretty red and white car there. Make sure we tell everybody who's on the sides of that one.
Yeah, I got to thank Homestead Coffee, keeping me awake and alert enough to drive around this place, man. It is tough out here. It's unforgiving. It is tight. It is I like this place. I sort of compared it while we were in race to like you feel like it's almost like running the Nürburgring, like you're pulling a double or a triple. It's just there is no time to take a break, and it is constant twists, and it's just, man, I am fried after that.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
worn out at this point now.
Yeah. Otherwise, gotta thank you for doing the broadcast. Gotta thank Jason for putting us all together, and shout out to my other self, Tales from Rukon, Friday nights on YouTube, 7:30. It's a fun little bit of D&D. So.
All right, brother. Thank you very much. Let's check in now with our race winner here, Mr. Dan Smith. Daniel, you put on one of the best battles we've ever seen here in the TNT series with Mike Holler for about 40 minutes of this race. Tell us a little bit about it from your perspective.
Yeah, that was just good racing all around. Obviously excited for the finish, for the win. That's a huge deal. Not the way I want to get it. That one incident with lap traffic, I thought it was going to end our race. It did end his, sadly. But all in all, it was just good, clean racing. There were a few ambitious moves from each side, but all in good spirit, all in good racing. Yeah, it was just a good time all around.
It was fun to watch. It seemed like Mike would get a little aggressive in a place. You'd be able to make some time up, make a big move on him. Some of the dive bombs into turn 5 were absolutely epic watching those. It was really good, clean racing by two very talented drivers tonight.
Yeah, it was a good time. It's not very often you get to have a race like that with someone who is so well matched. And tonight was just that night, and it was great to have. I'm happy to be here, and I can't wait to do it again.
After that incident with the lap traffic, did you know you were missing your front wing?
I could feel it over the top of the hill, and a little bit through the oval. I figured there was some damage, but I wasn't sure how severe it was. I knew that the car was still drivable, and I knew that while there was a chance to take a win, I was going to keep pushing until the car absolutely fell apart on me.
You know what? I don't think you could have lucked out any better in terms of if you had to have contact. It literally broke the front wing clean off and did. I mean, it doesn't look like there's a scratch on the nose of your car, as we've got you here on the hyper tight shots here. All in all, the setup seemed really good. This is a racetrack that is underutilized, is maybe not the right word, but we don't see a ton of racing here on the iRacing platform on this layout. Does that change your approach to a race like tonight, knowing that it really is a true wild card?
I really just went in knowing that it was going to be very different. You've got the very fast turn 1, 2, and then you've got all the twisty stuff up the hill that's much tighter and much slower. And so it was a big compromise in setups. You wanted something that was going to stick through the high-speed stuff, but at the same time, you don't want it to be too loose coming out of the slow corners and just loop it on you. So it was really about finding something that was comfortable to drive and that you could really just push to the limit safely and not have to worry about overdriving the car. And just managed to get that dialed in, and the result shows.
Yes, it does. It was a spectacular run for you tonight. Congratulations on the win here and a darn good points night in the TNT Shock Series as well. Let's get all the sponsor plugs and thank yous in before we let you go here as well.
Okay. I don't know what to say. I just want to say thanks for having me.
Hey, that's good enough, man. We appreciate that. Thank you very much for putting on a hell of a show tonight for the fans. That was absolutely spectacular tonight out of your race winner, Daniel Smith. The guy was an absolute rock star tonight. And with that, we are going to be heading to the Scenic camera views here because it is time for us to get the heck out of here. Long night of broadcast excellence here on the National Racing Network. Coming up tomorrow night, don't want to miss it, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The High Side Hustle, Burt Wojcik and Adam Rubright doing an hour-long show for you. 9 p.m., it will be I got to find the name, AIV Madness for the TNT Special Events Series. 3 different types of sports cars running against 20 artificial intelligence Formula Vs that are set to, quite frankly, be very, very good. But the car is just so darn slow, and they're going to be aggressive and running side by side with each other. At the Alton Park Foster's layout, passing those cars may prove to be very difficult for the real-world drivers in their first effort against the computers. Coming up on Thursday, another doubleheader, the Indy Pro 2000 Championship at 10:15 in the East. They will be running the oval at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Preceding that will be the Grid Rival Ezra IndyCar Series taking to the racetrack once again. And I believe we have no real-world racing from Linda's Speedway this week. I believe it's a Demolition Derby night out there in Jonestown. So keep your eyes out, but I don't believe we will be on the air for them. Next race from Linda's Speedway will be live video coverage of the 32nd annual Linda's National Open, a two-night affair. Going to be, as always, just an absolutely incredible weekend of racing. One of the most historic micro sprint races in the country running right here in central Pennsylvania. We look forward to bringing you every lap of the on-track action for that one. Coming up on Saturday, keep your eye out for the DeWeather Center Nice Tits Kickball Tournament. What we're broadcasting from that, I have no idea, but I'm sure we'll come up with something insane, inane, and everything else in between. But with that, we are getting out of here for the night. For camera designer, and assistant producer Connor Baldwin, and everybody else here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. It has been a pleasure to spend our Tuesday night with you. We will talk to you tomorrow night with a High Side Hustle and TNT special events. Until then, have a great night, everybody.